Losing them hurt, but nothing, and I mean nothing, hurt more than losing myself just to keep them. And you don't realize it's happening at first. It starts with one silence you swallow, one boundary you blur, one truth you bury, until you wake up one day in a version of your life that looks nothing like you.
And it's so quiet, isn't it? The way we disappear slowly, piece by piece. Not with screams, but with surrender. Not with force, but with fear. And the most dangerous part? The world applauds your performance, but nobody comes looking for the pieces you lost.
Can I ask you something? Have you ever felt like you were disappearing, but still showing up in someone else's story as the version they needed you to be? Even when it didn't feel like you?
I think most of us have, Tyler. And the thing is, we don't lose ourselves all at once. It's a slow leak. The first time you say it's okay, when it's not. The moment you smile to make them comfortable, while dying inside. That night you stayed quiet, when everything inside you screamed to speak. It adds up, and one day you look in the mirror and see a stranger staring back.
And the irony? We were doing it all in the name of love. But what kind of love requires you to leave yourself? What kind of connection makes you betray your own soul?
Here's what I learned. If you have to abandon yourself to be loved, it's not love, it's conditioning. It's survival mode intimacy. And according to trauma therapists, that's what's called relational self-abandonment.
It means we begin to suppress our needs, disown our truth, and minimize our worth, just to avoid being alone. And I want to pause here and ask you something. When was the last time you put someone else's comfort over your own peace? Not because you're weak, but because you thought you had to.
This is where the ache begins. When we start living for validation instead of alignment. When we stay just to not be left. When we become easy to love by becoming someone else entirely.
And it's sneaky, because people don't say, hey, change for me. But they reward your compliance, they praise your flexibility, they love your quiet. And you start to think, maybe this is what being lovable means.
Let me say this directly to the listener. You are not hard to love. You're just tired of proving it. And maybe, just maybe, you've been busy being everything to everyone, except you.
That's what happened to me. I started editing myself in conversations, started softening my needs, stopped asking for more. Because more always pushed people away. But what I didn't see was I was pushing myself away.
Can I ask you something? What finally made you stop? Stop giving so much of you. Just to keep people who didn't even notice you were fading.
It was one morning. I woke up, looked around, and I couldn't feel anything. I wasn't sad, I wasn't angry, I wasn't joyful either. I was just gone, number. And I realized I hadn't been living in my own life. I was performing in someone else's. That's when I knew losing them might hurt, but losing me? That was soul deep.
If that hit you, if that echo lives in your chest right now, just breathe, because you're not alone and you're not broken. You're just remembering yourself.
I think it's important to talk about how this plays out physically. The headaches, the tension, the insomnia, the way your body holds the grief of disappearing. Because self-abandonment doesn't just hurt emotionally. It lives in our nervous system.
Yes, studies show people who chronically self-abandon experience significantly higher rates of anxiety, relationship burnout, and even autoimmune flare-ups. Because your body can't lie, even when your mouth is saying, I'm fine.
So let me ask you again, where have you been shrinking? And what would it look like to come back?
Let's do something together. If it's safe to do so, close your eyes for just a second. Breathe. Now whisper to yourself, I forgive myself for leaving me. I return to the version of me I had to hide to be loved. I am learning to stay. Let that settle, let it root.
They may have left, but you're just arriving. And trust me, you're not too late to meet yourself again. Because the deepest healing is remembering you were never too much. You were just never seen by someone with enough space.
And now, you're coming home. To your voice, to your boundaries, to your beautiful, whole, imperfect truth. Because losing them hurt. But losing yourself, that almost cost you everything. Not anymore. You're done disappearing. You're done proving you are enough, especially when you stop performing.
And next week, we open a door so many people are afraid to knock on. You weren't too much. They just didn't have room. Because real love doesn't ask you to shrink. It expands you. And you're finally too full to fit inside something small.